I'm an American living in Russia during the special military operation and sanctions. And if that wasn't crazy enough, I'm now surrounded by tanks from America, Germany, and France. I have two unique gentlemen with different perspectives. They're going to share how they feel about this situation, explain to us what's going on right now.
Yeah. Because we're getting your attention. No, he's mine.
Yes. This is my youngest child, Maxime, youngest of 5, and Maxime is 5. And we moved here, an American family, to Moscow 8 days before the special military operation. Which means Maxime probably doesn't remember life in America at all. This is one of my other sons, Christoph. He has a day off from school today because today is one of the Victory Day holidays. Victory Day is a celebration of the end of World War II, and Russians celebrate that, I would say, on the level that Americans celebrate Independence Day. So Christoph, today we are going to go see American, German, and French tanks in Moscow.
How many of tanks?
Oh, that's what we're going to find out.
Huh?
So as we walk up, the first thing you can see there on the tent says in Russian, Trophies, Russian Army. I'm with Agent Kreml, expat American, and Agent Kreml again. Oh, gosh, there we go. How's that?
That's better.
Stan has his own YouTube channel in Russian. My channel is telling Westerners that it is good to be in Russia. Russia's a safe and normal place. And his channel is telling Russians that it's good to be in Russia, that Russia's a safe and normal place.
Sounds weird, but, you know, gotta do it.
So Stan is unique, I think, very unique, because he was raised in Russia and in the West. So he has a brain that can understand both worlds. And with this, he has decided to live in Russia. Stan, since the special military operation, have you ever had any doubts about your decision?
No.
Okay.
That's short enough. By the way, you want to go see? There's a Bradley over there.
Oh, definitely. So Stan has found a Bradley.
I didn't find it. The Russian army found it.
Okay, the Russian army found it, and you can see the American flag they stuck on the side there, just so it's clear. So that's our first American tank sighting. And there's another one. So this is the Russian Army trophy tent. We'll see what's inside here. Okay, so we have a drone. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So I'm with my friend Fabrice here. Fabrice is a Frenchman, and he actually was just awarded citizenship by Putin himself. And what I find very unique about Fabrice is he's married to a French woman, he has French kids, and with all that, he decided still to move to Russia and live in Russia. And with the special military operation, you still decide to stay. You haven't had any second thoughts?
Of course, yes, I decided to stay because I'm sure that I am on the right side of the history, you know, by staying here. Yes, here, over there, you can find the French light tank, which name is IMX 10 RC. So it's a French armored tank, but not a heavy one, a light one, which, according to all the specialists, is not doesn't fit at all for the battlefield in Ukraine, because the armor is too light, and there were a lot of damage for the Ukrainian equipage. But you know, the main point for me is to ask the question, why here in this hill in Moscow do I find those kind of equipment? I mean, as a French patriot, you know, for me, it's hurting myself, because I don't see the point for the French nation, the French government, to send any equipment in Ukraine. I mean, Ukrainian war, we have no interest in Ukraine as a French citizen. We have no interest in the Dark Sea, neither in the Azov Sea. And you know, to me, finding this equipment here makes me very sad. And I think that the honor of French and our duty, instead of sending weapons in Ukraine, should have been to try to organize a summit of peace in Versailles, or to try to put Ukrainian people and Russian people around the same table for peace talks, you know. And really, I'm very sad when I see that, because I think that, you know, we didn't pay attention to the history. In this very place, in this hill of Ponoklaya hill, Napoleon in 1812 was waiting here the key of Moscow. And
wow.
It was here in this place. And we all know how this page of history finished for him and for French people. And now, here again, instead of taking care of the history, we are here trying, you know, okay, we are not officially in war against Russia, which is good already, but we are supporting a lot Ukrainian army by sending them weapons which kills some Russian soldier. And it's not our place. We French people, I mean, the French people are friends with Russian people. The French nation is friend with Russian nation. France has never been as strong as when they were allies with Russia. And we forgot everything about the history. We forgot everything about the culture that we have in common. We forgot about also the common religion we have. We are Catholics. Our Russian brothers are Orthodox, but it's almost the same religions. We have so many things to share in common. And instead of trying to find this solution about peace, we are, you know, supporting the war. And it makes me very, very sad. And you know, you NATO people, you should understand that all the weapons, all the vehicles you send in Ukraine will arrive in Moscow only in the condition you can find here. It means burned, torn, and totally destroyed. There is no way that this vehicle can enter inside Moscow for a victory. Russian army will destroy everything, because Russian army is much better now than all the NATO army together.
For me, it's still very strange, because I was raised to think that America was the good guys and Russia were the bad guys. And I came here with my Russian wife innocently just to live. And now to be living in a place where I'm seeing equipment that I know was built by Americans and built by other Westerners and sent towards this country with violent intent, for me, it's very eerie. It's very strange. You know, and I'm sure that Westerners that aren't clued in, they might be looking at us and thinking, what's wrong with those guys? But yeah, I don't know. These are just my raw thoughts. It's just weird to be here.
You know what, Joseph? What really impressed me every time with Russian people is that they are smart enough to make the difference between the choice of the government of the Western country and the people coming from this Western country. I mean, look, we are here in the middle of thousands of Russian people, which are, of course, quite angry about the situation and about the fact that there is all this military equipment sending by Western country in Ukraine to support Ukraine people against their guys who are dying in Ukraine. And in the same time, they are all very kind with us. I mean, we can speak with everyone. There is nobody to say us, oh, they are American, this French guy, what do they do here? They are killing our boy in the front line. No, it's not like that. It's more like, oh, you are here, nice to meet you, and why are you here, and so on. And to me, you know, it shows that all these Russian people are very smart because they manage in their mind, despite the fact that it is their husband, their father, their brother who are dying on the front line. They manage to make the difference between government decision and people from Western country. And to me, it's, you know, very, I have very warm sensation with them because I like the way they behave with that. I'm not sure that Western people could do that. I mean, I remember on the beginning of the special operation in Ukraine, there were Russophobia very hard in France, and the French people were behaving very badly with Russian people living in France. Here, I never felt any negative point against French people, and I think it's the same for you, Joseph.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good point you made because, for instance, there are Ukrainian restaurants here that are unmolested, and people enjoy going to them.
Yeah.
So Russians are still enjoying all these different international parts of the world, whereas I think in the West, my assumption is anything Russian is like, you know, like something you shouldn't be into, something you shouldn't celebrate, or something you shouldn't, you know, appreciate in any way. For Russians, it's not like that.
Agree.
Well, so there's window damage to that one, and to this one as well. I don't know if that is battle damage or if it's just dirty. So Stan, I am a little bit emotionally disturbed being here. You appear to be stoic about the whole thing. So why do you think that is? Why is it not?
Well, because logically you expect, if you're Russian, you expect these, and you know history, then you can expect something like this to happen once every 80 years or so. I'm just surprised that I am actually living through one of these times. I'm living through this moment where, once again, there are foreign troops on our soil. So when I'm walking around, I'm seeing all these different vehicles from other countries, and to me, it's interesting, but it's not shocking. This is something that I expected, and this is something anyone who knows history should expect to happen at least 80 years. It seems that some people just never actually learn their lesson and understand that this is something that they shouldn't do. So, I mean, it is what it is. I guess anyone who lives here has to understand that we're going to be living through the exact same thing in 80 years after the special military operation finishes. So, South Africa is in BRICS, Turkey is in NATO, Their vehicles are here. I'm not surprised about the Turkish vehicle. I'm more surprised about the South African vehicle.
So maybe the South African vehicle was just made in South Africa and sold to another country?
Yeah, quite possibly it was bought and transported over.
Because you're right, that is strange. But if that's the case, I don't know why they'd put a South African flag on it. As I expected, it is getting very, very crowded. We came here in the morning and now it's later in the day. And so look around. If you're not from Russia, if you've never been here, these are regular Russian people around the Moscow area that want to come and see these captured vehicles. Looks like there's a news crew that got permission to stand on top of that tank.
I'm pretty sure that's an MRAP.
So some of these vehicles look like the vehicles I saw at the NATO exhibit outside of Moscow, but there's much more here today, so they may have transferred some over here for the Victory Day holiday. Christoph is 9, so he will be needing to sign up for his 1 year of military service in about 8 years. All Russian men do 1 year of basic training. This is a World War II themed park here in Russia, in Moscow. I did not plan this. I bumped into Joe, who did a live stream with me recently. He is the Catholic from America who feels like he had to flee here to escape religious persecution. And I'm glad to bump into another American because I'm curious what he thinks about this entire display. To be an American and to see American equipment that came to where you live aggressively.
Yeah. No, I gotta say, I'm actually kind of grateful to the Russians for doing this display because, you know, I paid my whole life for all this equipment, you know, it's kind of nice to actually see it up close. So I really am grateful to the Russian government for letting me have this opportunity to come really like nice up and close and personal with it. Never been around this much military equipment in the States, I'll say that much. So I've been to air shows and stuff like that. You see like cool stuff, but like, you actually see beat up tanks and, you know, used military equipment with RPGs stuck in them and stuff like that. You're like, wow, this is actually like the real deal. And so many thanks to the Russian Federation for this opportunity.
Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, share, ring the bell notification. Make sure you go to the link below for this guy's channel and you can watch his Russian stuff and his English stuff, and click the box to see what happens next. Forgot to say, Stan will also be doing a video today and I will be his cameraman. So be sure and go over and check that out on his channel right now. Maxim, Christoph, Molodets. All right, let's go. Voilà. Wait for the train.
Am I supposed to say something?
Maxime, do you remember life in America? Like I said,